Have you ever looked around and felt like you no longer belong? The conversations that once interested you now feel empty. The people you once connected with seem distant. The goals that everyone is chasing no longer excite you. And sometimes, the strangest part is that nothing around you has changed, yet somehow you have. If you've been feeling different from everyone else lately, this video is for you. Because what you're experiencing may not be loneliness, it may not be depression, and it may not be a problem at all. It could be a sign that your consciousness is beginning to awaken. Part 1. The feeling. Nobody understands. One of the first signs of spiritual awakening is a deep feeling of separation. Not because you hate people, not because you're better than them, but because the things that once gave you meaning no longer do. You begin to notice how much of life runs on autopilot. The same routines, the same distractions, the same endless chase for approval, and suddenly you find yourself questioning everything. Why am I doing this? What is the purpose of all this? Is there something more? These questions mark the beginning of an inner transformation. A journey that starts when your soul becomes unwilling to accept superficial answers. Part 2. Why old relationships begin to change. One of the most painful parts of awakening is realizing that some relationships no longer resonate with who you are becoming. You may still love these people. You may still care deeply about them. But the connection feels different. The conversations that once lasted hours now feel exhausting. You crave depth, meaning, authenticity. You want to talk about life, purpose, consciousness, growth. But many people are comfortable staying where they are. And that's okay. Not everyone is meant to walk the same path at the same time. Sometimes awakening isn't about finding new people. It's about discovering a new version of yourself. Part 3. The collapse of your old identity. Most people think awakening is about gaining something, but often it's about losing. You lose old beliefs, old habits, old attachments, old versions of yourself. The person you spent years becoming begins to fall apart, and for a while, this can feel terrifying. You may wonder, who am I now? The truth is that awakening often begins with confusion. Before a butterfly emerges, the caterpillar dissolves completely. Likewise, before you discover your true self, the false self must fade away. Part 4. Why you feel lonely. Many awakened people go through a period of intense loneliness. Not because nobody loves them, but because few people understand what they're experiencing. You begin seeing life differently. You notice things others overlook. You become sensitive to energy, emotions, and hidden motivations. And sometimes it feels like you're living in a different reality. This loneliness is not punishment. It is a transition. The universe often creates space before it introduces the next chapter of your life. The empty spaces you fear today may become the foundation for the connections you're meant to find tomorrow. Part 5. The hidden gift. What if feeling different isn't a curse? What if it's a sign? Every major transformation begins with separation from the familiar. Every great thinker, mystic, philosopher, and spiritual teacher walked through a period of isolation. They questioned what others accepted. They searched where others stopped. And because of that, they discovered truths that changed their lives. Perhaps the discomfort you're feeling isn't evidence that something is wrong. Perhaps it's evidence that something is changing, something deeper, something more authentic, something closer to who you truly are. Please think about this. If you've been feeling different from everyone else lately, Don't rush to become who you used to be. Don't force yourself to fit into spaces you've already outgrown. Trust the process. Growth often feels like loneliness before it feels like freedom. Confusion before clarity. Endings before beginnings. And maybe, just maybe, the reason you feel different is because you're becoming the person you were always meant to be. If this message resonated with you, leave a comment below saying, "I am awakening." And remember, sometimes the moment you feel most lost is the moment your soul is finally finding its way.